Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Tim, and in this video we're going to be looking at why I think Chris Redfield is the true villain of Resident Evil. If this is your first time to the channel, I make videos on retrospectives, reviews and the occasional feature, like this one. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Now, if you ask any Resident Evil fan, the greatest villain of the series is undoubtedly Albert Wesker. But if you disagree with me, tell me in the comments. But what if I tell you Chris Redfield might have tricked us all? The greatest trick the devil ever played was making the world believe he didn't exist. Now, I'm not saying that Chris Redfield is a fan of the usual suspects, but what if he's been the true villain behind the series and we just haven't seen it? Or could we even believe it to be true? Some of the information I've cherry-picked to fit my theory from the Resident Evil mythology written by the Batman, an essential read for any Resident Evil fan. Link will be in the description. The rest is my pure speculation. Chris betrays the hero of the franchise, but he isn't the golden boy he appears to be. When he wanted to be suspended from the RPD to carry on with his investigation into Umbrella, he punched a new recruit. This is a new recruit into the police force, not some Umbrella employee or a senior officer blocking his investigation, but a new police officer. Now, I'm sure there are far better ways to get suspended from your job, such as stealing the office stationery, or photocopying your ass, or even using Chief Iron's milk when it's clearly labelled in the staff fridge. Why would he need to punch a new cop? When he was living in Eastern Europe, he had the reputation of being a moody and violent, earning the nickname Stray Dog whilst working as a bodyguard.
Fill her up.
You've had enough.
Listen, sweetheart. You're here to pour drinks and look pretty. So how about you shut your mouth?
And the less we say about his dislikes for boulders, the better. If you're planning to start a world-dominating evil corporation, you really only have two options, like two sides of a coin, so to speak. Heads, you could go the quiet way like Wesker did, and keep his company secret, steal the research from other organisations, or tails, you could set up a public organisation and develop your own bioweapons, like Umbrella did. But what if Chris found a third option? How do you have access to all the latest bioweapons? If you attempt to develop them yourself, it takes time, money, infrastructure, and keeping a lot of people quiet. Stealing them isn't the best answer either. It's very risky, there's a high chance of getting caught, and you probably couldn't keep up with the rate of production. Chris's third option is to set up a public-facing company that combats bioweapons around the world. It's the best way to have official access to all the latest bioweapons. You would need to take samples so you'd know how to combat them. Whilst the world believes you're protecting them, you're secretly growing a collection of the world's most deadliest bioweapons. And Chris is a founding member of the organisation. But when you set up a company, you need to manage it, especially a company as large as the BSAA. I mean, you don't see Bill Gates selling Xboxes on a 9 to 5 on a weekday, so why does Chris need to be in the field? Unless you still want to have direct access to the bioweapons. Even in the field, Chris doesn't follow orders. We've seen that in Africa and Edonia. So what's he really doing there? I think he's used the BSAA for his own means. But there are only two sides to your coin analogy. Well, as Cain once told Raziel, if you flip a coin enough times, maybe one day it lands on its edge. At the start of Resident Evil 6, Chris is getting drunk in a bar having lost his memory, due to hitting his head on concrete. Is this the turning point? If he was a good character and a hero up until this point, could this memory loss or head trauma have caused a change in his personality? We certainly see a change within Chris in Resident Evil 6, and his relentless pursuit of Carla Radame.
Chris, we need to stay calm.
After what she's done to us, how many of our men are dead because of that bitch?
I'm right there with you, Captain. But your personal vendetta isn't gonna get us anywhere. If you hadn't been blinded by vengeance, we could have prevented some of those deaths.
Shut up.
Do you even care about our mission anymore?
Shut up!
I feel sorry for all the men that died believing in you. What happened to the legendary Chris Redfield, huh? What happened to you? It's a good thing Finn's not around to see you this way.
I'm going after Ada.
it's happened within history too. One famous incident is that of Phineas Gage, a 19th century demolition supervisor, known as the American Crowbar case. Whilst packing a blast hole, he was distracted for a split second. The blasting powder exploded, sending the tamping iron rod straight through his skull. Miraculously, he survived, but it was noted that his personality was completely changed as a result. He lacked compassion and kindness and became more profane and got into more conflicts. Could the head trauma that Chris suffered cause a change in his personality? The Chris Redfield post Resident Evil 6 was definitely with his anger and rage, and is certainly a far cry from the Chris Redfield of Resident Evil 1. It's safe to say that your career prospects in the BSAA are not very high, especially if you're assigned to Chris's unit. To date, the names on screen now are all the team members killed under command or supporting Chris Redfield. Even Wesker didn't kill this many of his own team. How has Chris maintained the leader of combat unit with this many deaths is questionable, don't you think? Not only does Chris have this many fatalities to his name, but is also enabled to spot traitors within his team. Granted, Wesker was a great villain, and finding out his true motivations would have been hard, but Jessica, he should have spotted a mile away. I mean, anyone who wears this to a sub-zero weather condition mission should have raised suspicions. Oh, come to think of it, Wesker did wear sunglasses in the dark. The DLC for Resident Evil 7 shows our questionable hero working for Umbrella. That's right, the very organisation that created the T-Virus, although they do state that all remains of the former company is the name. But why would a man who was so opposed to Umbrella now be working for them, even if he is supposed to be seconded from the BSAA? And let's not forget that he is a founding member, so he would have some sway as if he was to go or not. What's presented to the player might not be the whole truth. The clues are there. The title, Not a Hero, is a direct reference to how his actions for the BSAA have made him not a hero to some people, but it could also be foreshadowing for the Resident Evil village. The end of the mission, Veronica, your handler, states that the mold has been contained, not eliminated, contained. Could that be that Chris has requested to work for Umbrella so he could get his hands on a sample? From the trailers, we've seen that Village certainly looks like Chris has turned to the dark side, shooting Mia and leading what appears to be a covert strike team into Village. Have the BSA find out what has been going on the entire time, or has he been infected with the mold? His story must end was mentioned in the trailer, and could that be a reference to Chris? And have we been playing as the true villain of Resident Evil the entire time? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to go further, my Patreon and socials are in the description too. And until next time, thank you for watching.